Hey Cancer, it's Romy here. Thanks for tuning into the channel. It's October already, so this is your soul story for the month ahead. If you have a sun rising or your moon sign is in Cancer, this reading is general, but it might resonate for you. I use a blend of the astrological influences, what comes up with my tarot cards, and also working with my guides to give you an overview. If you'd like to join me for the extended reading, there are details in the description box and the comment section underneath, and we'll go a little bit more in depth into what's coming up for you this month, Cancer. So if it resonates, please do drop me a like and a comment. It helps to support the channel, and I look forward to seeing what's coming out for you this month. Thanks for being here. Okay, Cancer, let's take a look at this powerful month of October. The sensitive moonchild that you are, you will be feeling the direct impact of the two full moons that we're welcoming this month. The first comes in on the 1st of the month in Aries, and then we have a full moon, which is also a rare blue moon in the sign of Taurus, happening on the 31st, same day as Halloween and Samhain. And really the ultimate surrender and kind of completion is allowing for new energy to sweep into your life over the coming weeks, Cancer, that is really going to re-energize and activate something coming from that heart space for you. So we draw the Ace of Cups as this beautiful reminder of everything that you hold sacred, everything that you are now seeking to prioritize in your life. And I think there's something about just this wanting to fill your own cup, wanting to establish that beautiful sense of radical self-care and nurturing and self-esteem and self-respect, and allowing that to permeate out and starting to see the manifestation of it showing up in other areas of your life. Now, Libra season activates your 4th house of home and family, and where you feel safe. And so there is a little bit of this protective quality that I pick up as we move into the month of October, because there's a desire for you to keep unfolding into yourself, Cancer, because you've discovered so much, and there's just like such a sense of richness about October in terms of some of the conclusions and the epiphanies and the progression and the growth that you're going to be experiencing. And I think part of that is allowing you to almost learn to love and accept yourself on a more profound and deep level than ever before. And it's also going to impact the way in which you now want to show up and connect and communicate with others. So we also have Mercury retrograde this month, and a fellow water sign in Scorpio, and of course that wants a revisitation to things, doesn't it? Whether it's somebody from the past or an existing relationship, but you need to come back around to it from a different perspective, bringing to bear everything that you've learned, the hindsight, the lessons that you've been through, and your observation of what previously gave you that inner turbulence. And maybe even you're still feeling it, when you think about a certain person, or you still feel the trigger, or you're, in and around a situation. But there's this beautiful blanket of like divine radiant energy that's coming in to try to soothe, and it's a self-soothing. This is something that you are enacting, you are instigating. And that makes all the difference, because in a month that will feel quite volatile, it is intense, it is provocative, we've still got Mars retrograde, there is this haze, this kind of general confusion, almost like shape-shifting kind of an energy all the way through this month. And there are still so many things that are not clear, that to be able to maintain and find that level of peace, but also of devotion to the things that really matter, and to choose that kind of gentle, quiet, peaceful warrior approach to things, is really going to start to show you a different way of being able to move through the world, And, part of that means that you will have to be quite strict. You're going to be strict with your time, with your energy, and there's an understanding that actually no one is entitled to your time and energy. That's something people earn. They earn that from you, and it's still your choice as to what you give, how much you give, and where you give that, And I think that Hierophant coming in here is that understanding, that deep wisdom that you've accumulated with the way in which you've been working through 2020, and so much of the lessons that have kind of been brought front and center stage for you to deal with. And you're now just kind of you're really learning something, and you're really embodying it, and there's almost this statement of, you know what, I love myself too much for this, and you can insert whatever that is for this drama, for this chaos, for this conversation, you know. And you're being quite leveled with it, and you're doing it from a place of love. It's almost like, not only do I love myself so much, but I also love you this much that I'm not going to allow you to go there. I'm not going to allow us to go there. So where that plays out, whether it's within the family dynamic as you work through this 4th house energy, or perhaps in your areas of work, you know, that full moon in Aries activates your 10th house, with something coming to a head, to a point of completion or fruition for you there. Or if it's in and around your relationships, you know, we've got Pluto moving direct in Capricorn on the 4th, so that gives us Jupiter, Saturn and Pluto all in forward motion now. What have you learned? That's what Hierophant's coming. What have you learned from all of those retrograde periods, you know? We've got some beautiful trines coming forth this month with Venus as it's in Virgo, and later in the month as it trines Jupiter, Saturn and Pluto, which is going to make things favourable for many of you in and around some areas of that relationship house for you. What that might mean, and I know sometimes the universe kind of has a funny way of doing things, is that instead of the big giant leap forward, there might be a suspending of something. There might be a time out. There might be a sense of, okay, we just need to pause and reflect here. And actually that could be the sweetness. That could be the thing that ends up being the best move, the best approach. You know, there's something about the stillness of this Hanged Man energy that I really adore for you through this month of October, all right? And the reason I say that is because where you can have this ability to tap in to an energy of Ace of Cups, to allow that cup to flow continuously with that divine radiant love. And when you can take the wisdom that Hierophant wants to give you, and you can still find peace and surrender into anything that is happening in and around you, no matter how disruptive or chaotic or changeable it may appear, then you've really transcended something. You've really taken that whole next level in terms of your own spiritual growth, and I think that's going to be something for you to celebrate, and I want you to really appreciate those moments when you find it. Now, it might not be your experience all the way through this month, that's okay, you know, but when you find those moments where you are able to just kind of tune out and detach and find that quiet place of just surrender and sacrifice, then I think you're going to actually see the powerful shifts in energy that happen as a result of that. Judgment coming in, because it is about that beautiful sense of transitioning into a time of rebirth, you know. We're moving into the second sort of set of eclipse energies as we come toward the end of 2020, but they're no longer in your sign. It's now Gemini and Sagittarius, and so many of the lessons that you've been learning, we're now ready to welcome a whole new chapter of different ideas, you know, different perspectives and themes. And so there is a sense of release and relief, you know, especially as a lot of these major planets are going to be moving out of Capricorn toward the end of the year. I think you're also going to be, through this month of October, coming to some pretty powerful decisions about your life, you know. Now, for some of you, you may be finding that you know, it is situations that are happening to you, and you're kind of, you know, in a situation where you have no choice, you know. There is a set of circumstances that has been pushed upon you, and yet what we're seeing, Ace of Swords, is an honesty and a sense of clarity. You know, it is that self-awareness that you're having that's actually allowing you to just take anything and everything in your stride this month. And that's what I really want you to take from this reading so far, because that's what I'm seeing. It's like you're ready to welcome in a fresh new energy. You're not going to be unaffected by what happens through this month. You know, let's be real about it, you know, and that Ace of Swords can be a little bit fractious sometimes in what it unearths. And remember, 2 full moon energies, super potent, they're going to bring everything to light. And so the details of what's surface, you know, may feel slightly uncomfortable, but that said, I'm still seeing you with this kind of quiet, unassuming, like I said, slightly protective energy that's just like, okay, I'm going to understand what I need to learn from this, and I'm going to take it on board, and the choices and decisions that come next are going to be ones that I make on my timeline and I know are going to be right for me. Now, that Five of Swords energy is a little bit of a, I almost want to say a red herring, right? And the reason that I say that is because the dominant vibrational energy that is available to you through this month of October, Cancer, is one of enlightenment. It's one of the emergence of new energies that are coming in to show you some of the beauty of what life still has to offer, right? So in any given point when we are dealing with those endings, and there's always a quality of grief that comes in with any ending, right? We have to understand that that process of change isn't always easy, okay? And if you reflect back on the process that you've been through, there have been challenges, there have been setbacks, there have been disappointments, there have been things in every part of what you've experienced, even the really, really good stuff, yeah, that has still been less than desirable. And so understanding that what is contained within the Five of Swords was absolutely intrinsic to getting you to this point is what I need you to understand and take from this, okay? Because if you don't, you could get tripped up and you could start to look at things through a veil of kind of confused understanding and perception of actually what is happening, okay? It'd be very, very easy to just take on a specific idea and let it just play out in your mind in that kind of runaway train kind of a narrative, and it isn't the truth. That's what the Ace of Swords is saying, you know. Now sometimes we need to have that brutal reality check with ourselves over something, and that may well be your experience at some moment through this month with that card of Judgment coming in. But it's not from a place of harshness. It genuinely is from a place of understanding that so many of the difficult things that you've had to endure and go through that have felt like they were turning you inside out have actually been the very things that have been the greatest gift and are what, you know, are going to really allow you to transcend into this new chapter of your life, okay? So look upon anything that is unfolding that feels similar in the vein of like, why has this happened, or my expectations weren't fulfilled, or here's another challenge that I have to come up against, and know that that too is part of the process now to get you to the next level. So allow it, accept it, you know. It's the acceptance that's it's allowing the release and then bringing that sense of transformation through, okay? Now, I also have a sense with that five, if I'm honest, that it may be that you are not acquiescing, you are not giving someone or more than one person what they want or what they need from you, okay? If that is the case, it is your prerogative. You are coming to that decision for a reason, okay? And you have to honor that. And if it's coming from a place of like wanting to maintain your center, your truth, your balance, you know, trying to do the right thing for your own growth at this moment in time, then you have to just stand by it. You have to stand by it. And I see you being quite protective, you know. If your feelings are not being acknowledged, they're not up for debate, Cancer, you know. It's not like you need permission or validation from anyone else to feel what you feel or to come to the conclusion that you are right now, okay? And of course, Mercury retrograde can make it difficult. It can bring in that quality of miscommunication, you know. But the Ace of Swords for me is bringing in that level of clarity that you need, but I think it's first and foremost with yourself, okay? First and foremost with yourself. Now, Seven of Coins coming in here. I think there are some big choices and decisions in and around the work that you're doing and how you're investing your time and your energy. Are you doing it wisely? At this moment in time in the Northern Hemisphere, where it's a time of harvest, where we should be reaping everything that we've sowed, are you happy? Are you happy? You know, there's, you know, a sense here that there are going to be elements that you are very happy about, that you can look and appreciate and celebrate within yourself. But I also think there's going to be some things that you are distinctly dissatisfied with. And that's okay too, because what it's going to do is motivate you, inspire you to make the changes and adjustments that you're looking for, But it is a time of assessment through this month of October, and I think you need time for that, yeah? So that's why these full moon energies that are kind of holding the energy in place, but they're also powerful to bring things to ahead, bring things to a point of closure, And I think within that, there is this quality of release. 8 of Cups coming in. You are ready to let something go, to give something up. Maybe it's just because you've got too much on your plate and you want to streamline, you want to get focused. Mars retrograde is really beautiful in helping to do that for us, Maybe it is a relationship. Maybe it's something else in your life you're just ready to call time on. It could even be that aspect of yourself that you're really over. You're over the part of the harsh critic, We have this beautiful full moon in the background, and she's dancing fluidly, lightly, and she's embracing it, just like the Hanged Man. There's a quality of stillness and of there's a serenity here that I think is really quite beautiful. And I'm not going to underestimate, because I do feel that actually October is going to be a bit of a wild ride. So the fact that you can tune in to that level of stillness and peace shows me that you are accessing something higher. You are moving into a different dimension of energy in order to give yourself that peace of mind, right? So don't underestimate yourself, don't sell yourself short, and don't feel like you need to be in that kind of a vibration 24/7. But it is going to be available to you. The 8 of Cups is about the emotional journey that we've taken. And for some of you, I think it's really going to also reflect the entirety of this year. Like I said, there'll be an assessment and a review where you look back and really understand where this year has taken you. Yeah, the highs and the lows, what it's done in terms of the way it focused and demanded you to look within yourself and allow these changes to happen. If you are letting go and releasing someone or something in your life, I don't think you're coming to the decision lightly or easily, right? But I do think that you're doing it for the right reasons. I think you're doing it from a place of deeper understanding that in order to welcome in some of this new energy, you can't possibly hold space for anything that is less than progressive. You can't keep making the same decisions over and over and expect new growth. It's just not going to happen. And so the desire to want to learn, to progress yourself and to see that advancement in, all areas of your life will be very much on your mind through this month of October. Now, King of Cups energy is coming in here. Of course, it could represent you as a water sign, or perhaps a Scorpio or a Piscean, or anybody that's showing up in your life with that heartfelt desire to want you to see their perspective, right? There's a quality of intensity that I pick up here, and as the sun moves into Scorpio, we move into your 5th house, which activates the romance, the desire, the pleasure. It's the way that you work with that beautiful creative heart chakra energy. And I think that is going to be mirrored by someone showing up, whether it's personally or professionally, that kind of has that level of intensity, wants to engage with you in that way. And, where you're feeling it's right for you is only when you are seeing that this energy will not disrupt anything that you've got going on, anything that you have managed to secure for yourself that feels safe. The safe harbor that you've built up within, and the changes that you've already made in your life. And so if the arrival of this energy, or if this is someone who's already in your life at the moment, Cancer, if they are able to understand and see you for that new energy that you are radiating on, then I think there's something really meaningful to build upon. But if they're coming with anything less that sort of dips into what that 5 of Swords is reflecting, then I just see you kind of holding up that sword in a sense of a barrier and just saying, it's just not for me. I can't allow myself to go there. I can't go back into anything that feels less than what I have now become, The King of Cups, of course, steps forward in this beautiful, powerful guru energy, a little bit like the Hierophant, this real trusted advisor, kind of mentorship type of a energy that wants to show you how you balance out that emotional body, physical body, mental body with, the spirituality that surrounds you, and, really being able to connect to yourself at that deep level, but in a way that really honors also what you're experiencing, in this very 3D human physical self right now. It's very easy to kind of read the words and be inspired by different things, but actually being able to walk and embody that when we're moving through such a chaotic time can be a whole different story. But there's something about that, again, that energy of the king coming through, that I think you're really going to value. You're valuing something and understanding it in a new way and figuring out how you can make it applicable to your life. And so if that's coming forth as an energy, I feel it can be very supportive for you as well in that regard. Okay, so let's take a look and just see how these oracle cards are reflecting your main reading for the month. Okay, willpower. Okay, I like that she's kind of standing here and kind of I know she's holding the world and the moon, but I almost want to say it's kind of reflective of the fact that we have these two full moons. And so it is going to take willpower. It is going to take determination to maintain your standards, to raise your standards, to remember all of the work that you have done, to remember the reasons why you let something go in the first place, or to come back to something and have that sense of humility that perhaps you got it wrong or you made a mistake, And so it's that openness and awareness that there are still things that you need to learn and understand, but also when you come at it with all of the desire and all of the wanting to progress and to do right by yourself and others, then you really will start to see the true magic of what can come out through this month of October, I think, Cancer, I see you being incredibly strong this month, no matter what gets put in your way, genuinely. Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. Okay, so I think there is this reminder that everybody is going through powerful change right now, and we can't walk in their shoes. We can't fully comprehend or understand the way that they have been impacted or affected by what's happened to them. And so when you are finding yourself in that place of coming to firm decisions, there is this sense of where you feel drawn or compelled to revisit, reconnect, reestablish, or open something up, or perhaps that's somebody coming to you. If your heart is really telling you something, listen, that willpower can be a wonderful thing to kind of keep driving you forward. But there's also the humility that we need to bring with it. And that can be equal. It's like the vulnerability and the strength, it can be equally courageous to kind of admit where we've been wrong, or admit that actually we do need support, or we do need that person, or we do need financial help, or we do need somebody to just be able to be there while we allow ourselves to sit in this kind of healing space, So don't be afraid to reach out or to open up and to allow that kind of sense of connection to help support you where you need it, okay? You're not an island and you don't need to be. So even where I see you being very protective and I see you being very strong, if there are times and moments where you don't feel either of those things, that's okay, and let people in. Owl, wise seeing, wise action. Again, the full moon. Look at these beautiful eyes just staring directly forward, connecting with you. Something taking flight. Beautiful new moon in Libra happening on the 16th, by the way, in that 4th house. So maybe there's going to be some major changes in and around your your home environment or the place of work that you have. If you are considering launches, of course, retrograde energy can be a little bit tough, but if it's things that you've already initiated previously and you're feeling the bead of energy that says now's the time, the power and potency of these full moon energies are absolutely going to support you. That owl, again, just really reminding you that you can access that wisdom and guidance from the Hierophant, from the King of Wands, from the Hanged Man. You've got really strong guides coming in through this month of October that are going to keep you on the right journey, on the right path. You know, I think there is this quality of like wanting to learn more about something, Cancer, that's coming up really strongly as well through this month. So I think you're going to be seeking out that wise counsel, you know, whether it's through courses, whether it's through a specific person or help outside trusted advisors. I also see that coming in. Of course, you know, with the kind of magical midnight hour of, you know, this month of October as we approach Halloween, that veil being the thinnest, the way that we can connect into the spirit world. Don't forget about that. I know that might sound really obvious, but your ability to harness the help and support of your team in spirit, the loved ones that have passed over, even the way in which you connect to your higher self is being illuminated so powerfully through this time that you are being invited to make sure that you're harnessing that energy properly, okay? And so any kind of meditation time, any kind of rituals, any kind of work that you want to do energetically will activate powerfully your own gut instincts, that psychic awareness, you know. Just be mindful of where you are absorbing energy and making sure that you're closing out your energy properly though, okay? Because it's a very powerful time. So this has been a general reading, Cancer. I hope it has resonated and you've enjoyed it. If it has, please do drop me a comment and your feedback. I really appreciate hearing it. I'm going to go ahead and pull us some clarifying cards now for the extended version of this reading. If you'd like to join me for that, you'll find the link in the description box underneath, also in the comment section, and we'll go into a little bit more detail about it. So I'd invite you now to just think about a question I might not have answered in this main reading, and we'll go ahead and just pull a couple of cards specifically on that question for you now. Alright, and let's just clarify this main 9 card spread for you now. Okay, so Ace of Cups bringing in that 4 of Swords. Again, this nurturing kind of quality time to just have that sacred rest and beautiful healing. Hierophant coming in with a Knight of Pentacles. It could be Earth sign as well that you're dealing with, Taurus, or perhaps a Virgo or a Capricorn coming in with that Knight of Pentacles. Again, a little bit of a focus in and around the work, you know, soul work, career work. Changes and outside disruptions likely, but we can work with that Tower energy, you know. Knight of Swords coming through. Air sign, Gemini, Libra or Aquarius perhaps. I think it also denotes the rapid movement, the shape-shifting quality of what October's going to feel like in some ways. Hanged Man and the Hermit is really asking you though to pause and to reflect and perhaps to not come to any sudden, rash, impulsive changes or decisions. The time is coming for that very soon. Okay, 4 Cups, Knight of Wands wants to come out there. Yes, a beautiful healing energy of Temperance coming in on that 5 of Swords. Remember what I said about that. It's really important the way that you perceive it. Hanged Man. I mean, if there are some delays around certain things in your life through this month of October, you know, use that time wisely because it's going to be a blessing. That 8 of Cups release energy coming in with the 2 of Cups, so it may well be impacting some of you in and around relationships. Can also just be leaving behind like an old chapter of the relationship and opening up to a new beginning with it, you know, how you allow it to transform. Ace of Swords coming in again. There are going to be some really honest conversations taking place. You just got to be careful on how you word things. Just remember that retrograde. People can misconstrue, or things can come out differently than what you expected. Beautiful. Okay, Cancer, I'm going to leave it there. If you'd like to join me for the extended version of this reading, I look forward to continuing pulling out some more insights and messages for you. Otherwise, I'm going to wish you beautiful blessings, my lovely moon children, and enjoy this magical time of October, and I will connect with you again next month. Take good care.